When it first new thing comes out, there is sometimes an issue. Hey explorers, it's Keita the Explorer here for another episode of Travel Chat Thursday. And today, all the rage in the news is about vaccines and the future of travel. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, and I want to hear your opinions after I tell you what I've read in the news recently. So before we get into the chat, you know what you have to do, right? You got to make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and a notification bell right next to it so you're notified when all of my videos are released. Videos are released on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Now let's get into this discussion. So recently in the New York Post, I saw an article called Digital COVID-19 Passport May Take Flight for Airline Travelers. So let's get into this. I'm going to obviously post a link to the article, and you can see a little bit as I read some highlights that I saw here. It's a very, very short article. It's saying, get ready to carry 2 passports while flying in the age of COVID-19. Airline Industry Group is working on a universal digital document to show a passenger's virus test result and whether they've been vaccinated. This is a digital health pass, and it's actually in the last stages of development. This COVID-19 passport will direct travelers to verified testing centers and labs at their departure points that would match the rules and regulations for wherever they are going, with the hope of avoiding quarantine or restrictions on travel. So we already know that one airline, Qantas Airlines in Australia, said they're going to require, or at least looking to require, passengers to have vaccinations in the future once it's fully out there. So this is an interesting take because this is like giving a health pass, like seeing if you tested positive for it, vaccination for it. So obviously I'm not a health professional. So if you want to really get into the medical aspect of the vaccination or this article, make sure you contact your doctor or a medical professional that you can rely on for information. These are just my opinions, and I want to hear your opinions too. So a digital health pass, I think that would be great because not everyone wants to get vaccinated. Not everyone will be capable of getting vaccinated. I mean, some people could be allergic to it, I don't know, or it may not be fully available. There's a lot of things to consider here. And for me, the vaccination, I mean, I have had plenty of vaccinations to travel, like the yellow fever. I've had, typhoid or something like that. I've had the flu shot once. I got it at a previous, at a job, they were offering it. And that thing made me so sick. And then I still have had the flu multiple times. So I'm not trying to compare it to that, but it makes me think about this vaccination because it seems a bit rushed for me. And just think about it. When a new iPhone comes out and you get the first iPhone. Now, this is not always the case, but sometimes the iPhone may have a recall later on, or there may be some technical glitch in that first release version of the phone. And that's with a lot of things in technology. When it first new thing comes out, there is sometimes an issue. And that's what has me a little scared here. And it's also like this pandemic just started and you just started working on a vaccine. Like it hasn't been a year since you started working on it, or these different groups. So that's what has me a little concerned. So it would be nice for me to get someone who's like really in the know about it to like really have a discussion, or maybe they'll see this video and comment on it. That would be great so I can get their point of view. So yeah, that has me a little concerned about it. So it's not to say I won't take it, but I definitely would like more people that I know, or like in my group of people, or just more studies about it to come out before I feel comfortable of injecting my body with something that I'm not too sure of what it is. And with that said, I'm concerned about it because you don't know what the reaction may be. And then do I have to take it again? Like what if COVID mutates and the vaccination no longer, like there's just so many unknowns about it. I mean, there's obviously unknowns about this thing that we're dealing with, period. And I mean, there's some people who don't believe in vaccines, period, because it's against their beliefs. So you have to have alternatives. And I think this is really good to have this digital health pass, whoever is creating it, because with the digital health pass or digital COVID-19 passport, it allows for you to verify that you have been tested and you tested negative, and it also will let people know that you have been vaccinated or not. So I think that is a great beginning point to help travel proceed, especially international travel, because not everybody's going to get that vaccination, and it's going to be tough because there's some people who really love international travel who just can't deal with a vaccination. And the vaccination should not be the end all be all to this. It shouldn't be the resolution. You shouldn't just slap a Band-Aid on and then you have to find something that's going to work for a lot of different types of people. And vaccination is not going to work for everyone. So I think this will be great. I think it will be perfect for me, at least in the short term, until vaccination is fully tested out, to have this so I can be like, boop, here you go. Matter of fact, it kind of reminds me of my medical thing that I kind of have, but it seems like it's gonna be digital, so it's gonna be on your phone. Let me show you. All right, so here's my handy dandy passport. It's a nice cover. I actually keep this international certificate of vaccination in my passport. And I actually got this when I used to travel for work a lot, because at that time when I went to Brazil, the yellow fever vaccination was required to travel. And so all the vaccinations that I had to get for travel was put in here. And like, this is a certificate of vaccination that is approved by the World Health Organization. So as you can see, all the vaccinations are in here and other things that I don't have filled out, but you can see the date, the dosage, the physician's signature, or whatever. So I would assume it's going to be something similar to this, but in digital format, because if you're going to put testing and stuff in there, if you travel a lot, this is not going to fit on this piece of paper, honestly. Like I was saying, I had to get the yellow fever vaccination to travel to Brazil for work back then. And I actually got to my first flight. I was flying out of a small town in Illinois. And at that first flight, when I went to scan my boarding pass, which obviously that wasn't my next destination, my next stop, but when I went to scan my boarding pass with Delta, it went off and said, hey, we need to see your vaccination. I had to show them this card, my yellow fever vaccination, before I boarded that flight. And if I didn't have it, I wasn't going to be able to get on. And I am assuming that this digital passport for COVID-19 or digital health pass or whatever you want to call it will work in a similar manner, which I really would love. It kind of will, I mean, there'll still be additional steps either to get testing or to have vaccinations, but at least it will keep things organized. It'll make sure you're doing the right thing for the place that you're going, and you can just pull it up as soon as you get to your gate to board your flight. So of course, I want to know what you think, because it is Travel Chat Thursday. I want you to get in the chat. So if you have your own opinion, make sure you leave it down below in the comment box down there. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And of course, sharing is caring. So make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and your social media networks so they can get in on the chat as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are.